time for your ABC 36 Storm Team forecast.
Well, we're about 3/4 of the way through what was expected to be a multi-day severe weather event. We're not done with it just yet, especially areas down south and to our southwest. Strong to severe storms still possible this evening and overnight. I think almost of greater concern is the torrential to heavy rain, which may create some flash flooding issues, especially down south, and looking less active into the weekend with a dry Mother's Day on tap. And of course, that is good news for sure. Checking out our Viper radar right now, you see all the activity off to the south and especially west of Lexington here. In fact, that cell that is west of Campbellsville, just crossing the I-65 corridor, got a shear marker on it indicating it has some rotation with it. The favored area for severe weather, pretty obvious. This is western Kentucky. There's Bowling Green. All of these cells where you see the vivid lightning here, there's supercells, a number of severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings here. And the Storm Prediction Center painted this perfectly as the favored area. It was trending with the model data yesterday a little bit farther to the south and southwest, and that's how it's played. The air stable enough to at least keep some of the activity held at bay. Now, this cell east of Liberty and just off to the west of Mount Vernon, north of Science Hill, right there along the Pulaski and Lincoln County line. It's got two hail cores here. So looking at the second one, the one to the west, first gets data here. Waynesburg 602, Bank 603 along with Kings Mountain. You're looking at about 1 inch diameter hail. That's right around quarter sized here. So that's something to keep in mind as we go through the next little while. And then the secondary skit data here. Again, a lot of real estate this may cover, but just a few spots here. Van Hook 605, Broadhead 606, Rock Castle County High School at about 608 as it moves eastward. And that one has a little bit less probability of hail out of it, but just to show you, these do have the potential of producing some large hail in addition to torrential rain. Right along the Kentucky-Virginia border, south of Harlan, and then running north of Corbin and Barberville, Knox, and into the central part of Laurel County. That's where we've got the heavier downpours. And because this part of the state has seen wave after wave of steady rain earlier, which actually helped to stabilize things a bit, and now there's more on the way, that's why we're concerned about the flash flooding. But broadening things out, the main fronts to the north, but we've got a secondary boundary that's kind of snaking its way through western Kentucky, north central Tennessee, and into western North Carolina. And that is the focal point and the favored area here as that area of low pressure spins in for all the severe weather. Anything in yellow, polygon, that's a severe thunderstorm warning. Anything in red, it's a tornado warning. And you see they are lined up in southern Illinois, western Kentucky, and into western Tennessee. That is going to be the favorite area. That is good news, at least for much of our area, because look at the gradient, how we go from a 4 in red outside the viewing area down to a 1 and 2 here in central and eastern Kentucky. Not to say that we may not see some damaging wind gusts, large hail, and maybe an isolated spin up, but you see the very much favored area is where those supercell and tornadic thunderstorms are occurring right now. The issue here will be as the gaps fill in with the low moving eastward. Look at the heavier rain, especially in southern Kentucky, those areas that have already seen it. And notice wave after wave continues down south during the overnight. That could set us up for a flash flooding event during the overnight when it is particularly dangerous. Flood watch across the board, slight excessive rainfall risk, but they could almost move that moderate a little bit farther to the east to include the Kentucky 80 and Howell Rogers Parkway corridor southward. Let's look at what we could potentially tack on per the model here. 2, 3, maybe even 4 inches south of that Somerset to London to Manchester line, and again, that would cause some big-time issues. Kentucky Horse Park here in the Bluegrass, 73 overcast, south wind at about 10 to 15, where it's raining 60s, where it's not 70s, dew points into the 60s. What's going to happen is that low and the trailing cold front eventually sweep through, and that's going to help push some of those storms out to our west, our way. The air not as unstable here in our neck of the woods, but still can't let your guard down going through the evening hours. Now let's jump ahead to tomorrow and a much quieter day. We'll see a few spotty showers with a mix of clouds and sunshine into the afternoon, maybe popping up an isolated thunderstorm with highs into the low 70s. It's when that front clears the area as we get into the late week. That's when we're going to cool it down. Mid-60s Friday, another little wave of energy drops in here on Saturday. So some rain around to begin the weekend, but good news, it's Mother's Day weekend. Notice nothing in the way of rainfall for Mother's Day, and we'll need the break, of course. Rain and storms, heavy rain at times, especially down south tonight. Partly sunny, just a few leftover showers, 78 tomorrow. The extended forecast here looking better with a spotty shower or two, especially with that wave cruising in on Saturday, mid to upper 60s. Mother's Day looks really nice, low 70s, and then we'll work a few scattered showers and storms back in early next week with highs in the mid 70s.